Good morning, guys. This is Mrs. Carr. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, and I'm here for your rundown on today's lesson. Yesterday, you concentrated on lowest common multiples and turning those into lowest common denominators, and today we're going to focus on finding those common factors so that we can simplify them at the end. Remember, you're finding the lowest common denominator so that you can change them to be like fractions so that you can either add or subtract them. And then today's lesson, we're finding common factors so that after you add and subtract them, you can then at the very end simplify them. So that's the lesson for this day. Okay, guys, so first thing you have is a couple of different things that you can open up to help you, little guides, anchor charts, if you will, the kinds of things that you would find hanging around in our classroom. And I want you to open up all three of these because these are little guides that can help you. Oh, by the way, this is after you. Well, not after. It could be before. It doesn't matter. We're going to watch that video. We'll come back to that in a second, though. But anyways, these are guides that will help you. These are the posters that we would have you look at in the classroom that you see hanging around our rooms. Anyways, for simplifying fractions, it goes through what a factor is, listing all the factors and then placing them in order, and then practicing. Okay, and so for us, this would be our horseshoe. So we would write the number 30 and then we would put a horseshoe around it and then list our factors that way. That's all this is the horseshoe. Okay, so you guys know how to do that horseshoe. So please make sure you are making that connection that these are the same thing. Just a point to note here that they have the 6 as the double number. Don't forget, we usually put that on square at the top of our horseshoe. And then at the end here, you can do a little practice if you'd like. Okay, finding factors and then what they share. Okay, guys, so that's one option. And then the second one I want you guys to look at, it talks about prime and composite. So knowing if it's prime or composite, it goes through what a product is, what a factor is, and then practicing what factors are, and then of course your prime and composite. And we use this when we simplify to know if it's all the way in lowest form. And then again, one other anchor chart, one other thing you might see around our room. And again, they have the list view. These is the factor rainbow option, and again what we do is the horseshoe. So instead of at the end of the rainbow, we have it going all across the rainbow, the horseshoe. Okay, but these are good guides to use as you're working through today's lesson. So here you're going to watch this video. Okay, he's there to walk you through today's lesson, and then you're going to pick one of these. They're both in PDF format, but one is finding the GCF only. This one here is finding the GCF only. Okay, and this one is you're actually, not only are you finding the GCF, but then you're going to take it that next step further and simplify it. And again, this is why we want you to use all of these different posters, because all three of them have some tips that you can use to help you through that. All right, guys, then when you're done with that, you're going to come over here to this prime and composite sort. And don't forget that I want you to, very first thing you're going to do is hit File, make a copy. And you can do the entire presentation or the selected slide. Just make sure if you're doing one slide only that you are actually on the slide that you want before making a copy. Otherwise, it makes a copy of this first slide. Like, who wants that? All right, but I would say because this is, as you can see, 3 pages long, 27 different numbers, you don't need all 3 of these. I want you to pick one of the pages. So let's say I pick page 4, then I'm going to come over here, click File, make a copy of the selected slide only. Okay, and then that way, because you don't need to do 27 numbers to know whether or not you can do prime or composite. And so then from here, you're going to you can click on Insert and then do a text box like that. And then you can put your C or your P, C for composite, P for prime. And you can go through you only need to do these 9 numbers. You don't need to do all of those numbers that are in the other document. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and click Share. And you'll type in your teacher's name. and then click send. Okay. And then, yes. And then that's how that teacher knows, that you've done your work. Okay. So that's for that option. For both of these options, I forgot to share with you, these are both PDFs. Oops, excuse me. This one's a PDF and this one's a PDF. So make sure you take a picture of it, because you're going to be doing it on paper, whether you print it out or do it on scratch paper. Either way, it's going to be on paper, not on the computer. So you definitely need to take a picture of it when you're done, and then you can either post it in today's discussion, or you can send a picture of it to your teacher. Your teacher is looking for your work. Okay. Just as a reminder, right quick, after you have shared your work, please make sure you're going back either later in the day or the very next morning and checking either down here in the speaker notes section or your email. Your teacher is responding to everything that you send them. So please make sure you are checking for what they are sharing with you. All right, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to respond on the discussion questions. See you tomorrow.